And even he advised somewhere that friendship with the world is enmity. Okay, I will pull that one out as well. Advising you not to become friendship with the world. Sometimes I ask myself, where is the world? And where is the people? Are the people different from the world? When you become a Christian, you tend to learn from the book that you are not of the world. Yet you are living here, but you are not of the world. You are advised to have a thought, some sort of thinking that you are not of the world. And so in that sense, you think along that line of I'm not in the world, I'm already in a different world, I'm living a heavenly, glorious life. Deceiving yourself until you get in the place where you are in need. Then you turn to the worldly person and ask for help. And even that, the Christian will believe that he has got the power, so he has got some form of power from God. That is why he's able to take from the worldly world. But you are taking from a worldly person that God does not want you to become yoked with such a person. Somebody that God thinks he's defiled. Everything about that person is defiled. If you take from him, whatever you take from him is defiled. But the Christian is also taught to believe that if you receive it in the name of what Jesus Christ, that thing is cleansed and you can use it. You see the psychology behind it. Now, you are advising both ways so that your strength is in a situation that you're only receiving. You are the receiving and you are taking what you have to take. You've given the authority. You've got the authority to take whatever you take. The things that are being condemned are being cleansed and given to you. Now, the very God have the power to cleanse things for you to have, but he will not be sympathetic to cleanse the people who are defiled and make them unified with you. Whatever it is that makes them unclean, he hasn't got the ability to cleanse them so that he become. These things does not really make logically something that you cannot easily accept. James 4:4. If you read James chapter 4, okay, James chapter 4, it's actually the place that reveals what I'm trying to explain. James. It says James chapter 4. Okay, James chapter 4 verse 4. It says, adulterers and adulteresses, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Whoever therefore wants to be a friend with the world makes himself an enemy of God. If you become friends with the world, you are making yourself an enemy of God. Anything outside of the Christian worship or the Jewish or the Christian fellowship is outside that, is the world. It's outside of the heavenly place which they are, and it's the world. Their mind has been in tune, has been formed, has been renewed into believing and thinking selfishly in their own concept of what God is, or what moral standards, some sort of an isolation of moral standards which they are supposed to live by, and at the same time live in the world and take advantage of the world, plunder the world and get whatever they want. That's how it is with the very beginning. Even Africans suffered the hands of Europeans who had this belief in the first instance, and through what they believe in this Bible, took them to places like Africa, took control of the lives of Africans like me and the thousands of people out there, and took control of their lives, and somehow made them, transform them to believe and turn them to become just like the way they were. They plundered the whole world, took advantage of the world, built the world that they have today. Until we came in and we realized that, after all, this is what these people truly are. We would not have ever known. If you are in Africa and you know of an European or a white man, you think of a white man in a different sense. Not to say that I'm being discriminative or going against the white man or anything. No, I have nothing against them in any sense. But we are talking about history here. What happened? What developed into this situation that we are in? What caused what we are? What caused all this life that we have now to be as it is? Whether it is good or bad. There are some people who are living in pain and worry and lacking so much in life. And it is all as a result of this book and the teachings that we have learned from it. So it's like you've been adopted by somebody, and that parent that adopts you mold your mind to become just like him. And that is the attitude of what we see today. Most Africans who have taken the Christian have the same behavior. They go out there. You have the mental idea that you are with God, God is He, and you can have whatever you hold. You have the authority and power to do as you so please, and you take from others, and you move on, and you cannot be judged or be touched, but you can judge others and condemn others, because what you are having is an authority or an autonomy from who? The ultimate God. Confusing ourselves. Meanwhile, the Quran also, or the Islamic person also believes that he has got some authority from God. So who has got authority from God now? Is God confusing us, or are we confusing ourselves? I can't get my head around it, But it is clear, it's so obvious that there is confusion, a big sense of confusion and violence, and something here does not sound like peace to me. It sounds like violence. It sounds like some sort of demonstration, hating each other, because straight ahead, the Muslim cannot be touched, because as long as they live in their world, they have their command from their God. That's it. The Christians cannot be touched. As long as they live in there, they have their command. That's it. But the Christian has got a partner of the Jews who they go hand in hand with, even though they also have their differences. Sometimes Christians were, persecuting the Jews. The Jews also persecuted the Christians. And there's this bad apple among them. But still, you can see that both ends, what God is it that gave the authority? What God it is that gave authority to the Jew or the Christian? Or what God is it that gave authority to the Muslim to do as they are doing? Nobody knows, and nobody can tell. So we have to think these things through and find out, why is our life the way it is? Why is the life that we have now the way it is? Which is the best way to go? What evil have we invited into our lives that keep confusing us and putting us into the state that we find ourselves? How can we correct these things? How can we come to that conclusion where we can, resolve issues and have a very good life? I mean, the life that we so please or want to have. There is this evil thing which stands in the way. And I pray that we will come to that moment where we will know, where we will be able to discover these things, the truth, and realize that just as the Christians or the Muslims or whatever we believe or faith is accuse the others of pagans or atheists or whatever it is, that we all have the same fault that we live with every day. And no one is actually right in any sense until we have the humanist approach to life, the humanist thoughts approach to life. And that daydreaming thing will be washed away, from our lives, so we can see accurately the way to go. I'll have to, end this session and find ways to sort of continue again. Sadly enough, I couldn't go into deeper session of